This tank is a GW Tiger. This is a fascist German Tier 9 SPG. The map is Minsk. Minsk is a very difficult map for SPG. However, we're going to find a position. You see where that bat chat 155, 55 is? This bat chat right over here. That's the position that we're going to go look at. And we're going to use some time travel here to find that. So now I'm starting to head to that position, and we're going to look at what you can see when you play in that position. Notice that there's going to be a lot of enemy tanks on this road over here, and this bat chat is going to do a good job shooting at these because he's super unicum, and he's got that great turret and that great speed, and I don't. And you know what? It's not because of the machine, it's because of my poor skill. But you can see I'm able to hit that Type 4 heavy. But let's move on to that position that I was referring to. You can see that over here there's this little opening, and from over here I can hit that T110 E4. Unfortunately, I'm not going to spend a lot of time here because my Unicum allies are, I don't know, maybe they're just bored or something, and they're going to, I don't know, they're just not going to fight. So you can see there's another position, so I'm going to pause the game real quick. So you can see that I can, wow, this is cool. Where are we? So this is a spot that I can hit tanks in this area. Even though that line is red, it will be green. The reason why it's red is because it's aimed for a different spot. And I can hit in this opening here. That's why this is a good position. So if you start the game and you see a lot of enemy heavy tanks, then that's your cue to possibly take up this position. And if you see that the score is 2-6 and there's a lot of enemy heavy tanks, that's your cue to leave this position. Because I'm super unicum, I'm going to be able to get away without dying. And let's move on to the next video. This tank is the M53/M55, which obviously was named very well, and a lot of thought went into it. This is an American Tier 9 SPG, and the map is Steppes. No, the map is El Haluf. I'm going to show you some Sky Cancer positions that you can play on this map. Now, I haven't really, there's a lot of positions, but let's talk about this position right here. And we're going to talk about why I decided to choose this position. You can hit, I'm going to show you on the mini-map, you can hit this corridor. It's not really that great. You can hit all the unicums that are alongside this rock. You can hit the unicums that come out over here, the unicums over here. And if you line up properly, you can hit all the enemy stat patterns that try to climb up this road. And you're going to see that action in this game. Or maybe, no, you're going to see that action in this game, I'm pretty sure. I am going to do 3,200 damage, not because I'm a good player. It must be because there's a bug in the game or something like that. How else could a noob like me do 3,200 damage? You can see that I can line up a good shot over here. Let's use a little bit of magic to advance. This tank is actually not AFK. I was able to do 551 damage on his side armor and stun him. You'll notice that he is, in fact, in the game. But you can see that my ally, this Lynx over here, he's running around. All these enemy tanks are chasing after him. He's spotting tanks, and he actually survives for quite a while before the enemy stat patterns finally take him out of the game. So you can see that I'm just a noob. I shoot at dead tanks. They did take my ally out of the game. He did delay. I don't know how much spotting. Oh, no, look at that. He's still in the game. What a sneaky guy. And he's got like 2 hit points. Because he's French, he's retreating. Oh, you know what? Now he's out of the game also because he's French. Okay, so he delayed the enemy team. I wasn't able to fully take advantage of it. Maybe what he should have done is tried to draw them into our excellent sniping team, the Chrysler K, which of course we know has a crappy gun which can't penetrate anything. So you can see I'm able to hit this Object 430. However, it's very rare that you can hit the Unicum tanks that always love to play in this position. I was able to do 184 damage against that Object 430. I'm up to 735 damage total. As you can see, if that Communist T10 comes out, I'll be able to hit him. And same with the OHO. I got a shot on the Chrysler K, but not on the neutral Swedish tank, the Lansen C. I'm going to advance. Okay, so I missed my shot on the Chrysler K. The reason why is because I'm not a good player. It has nothing to do with RNG. I'm going to advance a little bit. You can see that we've got some enemy tanks trying to climb up this area, but I have an ally. But because I'm a noob, I'd probably shoot anyway, even if I damage the ally. I must have accidentally killed Brasileiro, the Batchat 12T. I've got 1,400 damage again, must be by mistake. So I'm a little bit concerned here because we only have 2 allies on that flank, and the Indian Panzer, who's been complaining since the start of the game and who's advising us to enjoy our defeat. So I'm concerned. I know I need to start advancing to the north. This is actually going to be an interesting game. It's going to end up with like the Udas hiding from us at the end. So you can see I got 574 on the Schwarzpanzer. The Schwarzpanzer, I really liked it when I first got it, but after a while I just thought it was a garbage tank and I got rid of it. So I want to help out this standard B, but you know, there's trouble everywhere. The Lorraine 40T, he had to reload, and you know, he's a French tank, so he retreated. Let's see if we can hit this Oho. Come on, come on. Sayonara. It's 281 damage on the Oho, plus 244 spot damage. I'm up to 2335 with my Tier 9 capitalist Sky Cancer. I'm still a little bit concerned about my position. I know that I'm vulnerable, and it's better to be closer to your allies. You can see that the P-44 showed up. But I also want to help out my ally. My Standard B needs my help. The Standard B, I believe, is an Italian tank. C'è la luna, mezzo mare. Hey, you like the Standard B, ah? I'm going to show us something for you, huh? You like the pizza. Doesn't have the name for an Italian tank. Like, Progetto. Ah, you like the Progetto. Okay, so I'm spotted over here. And usually, you see I'm alerting. I hit the control key, and I hit the help button so that my allies know that I'm spotted. That's the reason why I do it. There's other people that do it also. It's a great way to indicate. I wish it said I'm spotted instead of help. Okay, so you see we've got a P-44 Pantera, which is also an Italiano. Hey, eat the spaghetti. You like the lasagna. Would you like a little Italian sausage in your slice? Okay, so that's 2,600 damage. I got 287 on the P-44 Pantera. You can see the Udas is on the cap. He looks like he's got a lot of guts. He will hide from us. Oh, that's why he only had 1 hit. Oh, you know what? There's 2 Udases. It's the other Udas who's up here who's going to hide at the end of the game. Scores 10-9. Notice that I repositioned so I have good access to the cap. And I've only got 2 kills. It must have been bugs in the game. You know, I'm just a noob. It was probably an accident. And you know that Rheinmetall, he's an Unicum. We're going to see Unicum gameplay from him. I think I'm going to shoot. I actually think I'm going to shoot. And you'll see that I did the damage, 123. I really don't know what 13 meters is looking at the overhead. I don't run mods or any of that crap. But I was able to hit him. Now we're going to see Unicum positioning by the Rheinmetall Borsig. I wanted to help out that object. Unfortunately, he's going to probably take out my ally. So the Rheinmetall took this Unicum position. He's a purple player, which is why he's sitting right there out in the open when he's trying to cap. And he's out of the game. So I really wanted to help the TS5. He looked very vulnerable while he was being abused by the Object 430. Unfortunately, it would have been a lot of movement, and I would have made myself very vulnerable in order to be able to assist him. And the Object 430, unfortunately, he wasn't as dumb as I thought he was. So he did not advance out into the open where I could shoot at him. But he is out of the game. The Lorraine's out of the game. Now it's 14-11. Surprise, surprise. We're never going to see that tank again. So the smart thing to do is, okay, the Standard B is notifying us that he was spotted. He believes that the Udas is up here on this hill somewhere. So you want to have a capping strategy. You want to make sure that you're as close to the cap as possible if it's necessary for you to win the game when you're in SPG. So that's why I was near the cap, and as soon as I feel it's safe to get on the cap, I do get on the cap. Again, I don't think the UDAS is going to come out to play. Or maybe, let's see what happens. I think we're just going to win. This might be a game where he gets killed and we cap. I think that's what's going to happen. Yeah, so he was killed and we capped. I did get 3,200 damage, and I did 244 stun damage. This was an M53/M55 Sky Cancer, and the map was El Haluf. This tank is a GW Tiger. This is a fascist German Tier 9 SPG. The map is Empire's Border, Great Wall. I don't know what it is. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to show some SPG positions. This is obviously one of the not-so-good positions, but we're going to take a look, and we're going to see that it's not that great. It's very difficult to find a good position on a corridor map or a city map, and I've looked at the stats, and on city maps you're going to do about half the damage that you would do on an open field map. From this position, I can only hit the tanks that are in this area. The tanks that are more on the cap, I'm not going to be able to hit. So I have to advance. It's not because they put this giant wall over here to block all my shots. So I came over here and I noticed on the mini-map there's a lot of stat patterns over in the distance, like the standard B and the grill. So I decided I would reposition. Not going to be so easy. I'm going to get some shots in. I'm going to do mega amounts of damage, probably 2,000 or 3,000 hit points of damage. So I'm going to hit that AMX 5120. I'm going to teach him a lesson. And there it is. Look at that, 107 damage, 1,561 stun damage. Because I'm an amazing player. Okay, so we're going to hit this grill. You know what? I think the grill is going to die like a second before I fire my shot. But you can see he's in a very difficult position for me to hit him. And he's dead. Okay, so now when you have the type of situation where you really don't have a lot of tanks to shoot at, you want to have a capping strategy, which means you want to plan to get near the cap as soon as possible and then plan to be on the cap as soon as it's safe. So I'm going to reposition so I can hit some of the stat patterns which are going to be up on the cap area, particularly the T-95, which is a capitalist American Tier 9 tank destroyer. So we're going to hit this evil capitalist. We're probably going to do some damage. Going to hit him right on that front armor. You can see I did 172 damage. But you know those capitalists, they're a little bit sneaky. So you never know when you're going to miss. I had a wet dream right there. I could have had 3 tanks. I'm probably going to kill that Object 705. He looks like a tank I want to kill. Yeah, he looks like I could kill him. But I'll kill him when I'm ready to. I'm going to flub this shot. It's going to be aimed perfectly, but, you know, I'm a noob. Not because of RNG, it's because of my crappy skills. Yeah, that was a miss. I'm just a noob. You know, I'm not a good player. A well-aimed shot misses. It's not because of RNG. It's because of my poor skills and my low win rate. Okay, so I'm eyeing to take that Object 705 out of the game. Obviously, if I do kill him, it's not going to be because of skill. It's going to be because of RNG or noob randomness. Okay, so that was 215 damage on the Object 705. I'm probably not going to do any more damage or kills in this game. Let's see if we can hit this capitalist. No, he's out of the game. So now I've got a capping strategy, which means we got 10 minutes left in the game, which isn't enough time for a slow tank to advance to the cap. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start. Okay, looks like I'm not going to go to the cap. Okay, so now that all those enemy tanks are dead, I'm going to start making my way. We got a Bat Chat. He killed that Leopard 1. And you know those Bat Chats, they're excellent tanks. It's not like he's just going to explode or anything like that. So I'm going to make my way towards the cap in case it's necessary for me to cap in order to win the game. We've got a Centurion who's approaching the cap. I'm sure he's going to die, and the reason why I'm sure he's going to die is because I just watched the replay about 2 minutes ago. So I'm going to make it up onto the cap. Very slowly. You can see that my ally, the Batchat, crashed, not because he's a French tank, but for some other reason. And, you know, this is the end of the SPG position. Let's move on to the next video. This tank is a 212A. This is a communist Russian tier 9 SPG, and the map is steppes. I'm going to get amazing amounts of damage. You're going to see unicum positioning, unicum damage, unicum kills in this game. Okay, so let's advance to a position. And this is kind of a position that I like to play. You can see that there's a stat pattern over here in the Chrysler K. He's a relatively well-armored tank. Let's see what happens. I'm a noob, so I'll probably miss. So it looks like I did 375 damage. Every time you fire, you want to reposition because the enemy Sky Cancer might be watching your position on the minimap, and they'll use their satellite view ability to see where you are and shoot at you. Now, this is right here is what you call an Artie's wet dream. You've got 3 enemy stat patterns all in one position. They're all unicum, and unicum heavy tank players all know they should get as close together when you have an SPG on your flank, especially when you got at least 2 SPGs in the game. I just got lucky. I did 467 damage on the low, 65 on the T-29, and 299 on the Chrysler K. So I'm up to 1,206 damage, plus I stunned all 3 of them. Okay, so what I do is I usually move back and forth. This is not a lot of room moving back and forth, but I had reasons to believe that the enemy was not targeting me because we're going to spot the enemy running across the map, which is the reason why I knew he wasn't going to be shooting at me. Well, you know what? I missed that shot, so we're going to go back. We're going to watch that shot again because I know you want to see everything. So we're going to hit this capitalist Chrysler K. So that was 130 damage on the Chrysler K, and he died. He must have died by accident. It must be like a bad RNG for him or something like that. It's not player skill because I have a low win rate. Okay, so now we have a fascist German low, which, as we all know, is really pronounced Löwe. Actually, I met some Austrians and I asked them how to pronounce Lowenbrow, and they said it's pronounced Löwenbräu. So there you have it, Löwenbräu. Okay, so we don't know if we hit that stat pattern. You'll notice that after every shot I'm advancing, I do have the 1336 damage and the 402 stun damage. You can see we have an enemy Sky Cancer over here, which is also a communist Sky Cancer. Let's see if we can do anything interesting here. One of my allies, actually, it was my ally. Was it an ally SPG? It was some other tank. Took him out of the game. It said FV 3805. Who the hell is an FV 3805? Okay, so you'll also notice that there's a team killer on the enemy team. So the enemy team killer is probably AFK. He's probably out of the game. I'm up to 1,752. I did hit an STRV 103. I did 27 and I destroyed the low. Must have been an accident. I'm not a good enough player to actually get kills in the game. So I do have 2 kills. I did do 1,779 damage and 402 stun damage. So you notice that the enemy SPG did move. We don't know why he moved out to the middle of the map. It wasn't a wise decision. That tank exploded. The score is 8-8. I had good faith in this game. I thought we were doing pretty good because the enemy was not advancing. My ammo is an HE round. It will do really good against a neutral Swedish tank. You know, we're going to teach these democratic socialists a lesson. I would like to add that I do play with the camo net and with probably the artillery rammer and maybe the other thingy that does something else. I don't know. Okay, so I wanted to advance. We will fast forward. We're going to go after the neutral Swedish tank. And those are actually tough tanks because they have high pen guns for tier 8, 9, and 10. Maybe in 10 it's not high enough, but definitely for tier 8 it's a very high pen gun. So you can see that whatever mission that I'm working on, I'm probably going to complete. And, oh, let's see. Come on, kill them. Do something. Okay, so I did 102 damage to that stat pattern. Okay, so there was a Waffenträger over here, but, you know, I'm not a skilled player. I'm just a noob. I need Unicums to tell me what to do. It would only be luck if I were able to kill that Waffenträger. There's no skill behind it whatsoever. You can see that I'm very close to completing whatever the mission is, which is 2,000 damage. There's a chance that I may have completed, and that's also the secondary. Okay, so now you see we've got this AFK team killer over here, the T-29. You notice that the Conway is not shooting at him. The T-29 is, in fact, out of the game. But the Conway is also out of the game. So now I can shoot at the T-29, which will bring my total damage up to 230. You'll notice that I did 420 damage on the T-29, and I completed the mission. So now we've got this last tank. Now watch the Unicum gameplay by this HWK30. You're going to see awesome Unicum gameplay. This is absolutely what you should do at the end of the game. Take up an Unicum position against a tank that does high alpha damage. And when I saw this, I was like, okay, we got 2 SPGs and a Waffenträger. You know what? My ally, I believe, is on full health. And if we had all platooned, you know, we could have had brothers in arms right here. So we are going to watch what he's going to do. And I really would say don't risk it, but he decided to do it, and he's going to pull it off. And that's the game. So the in-game stats is 2,700 damage and 1,400 stun, and I got 3 kills. And the map was El Haluf, and this was the 212A. This tank is the Batchat 155-55. This is a French Tier 9 Sky Cancer, and the map is Erlenberg in the Assault Defend mode, and I'm on the assaulting team, or should I say the defending team. So we're going to see some Unicum level gameplay, which is of course going to be by me. You're going to see thousands and thousands of hit points of damage, and you're going to see lots of stun damage. It's not going to be 0 at the end of the game. So you see that we have an Unicum player here on the enemy team, which is the KV4, and he knows the Unicum strategy, which is to drive across that part of the map at the beginning of the game. I was able to do only 70 damage, and I'm just a noob. And this is not the position that I really... Oh, see, my ping time went up to 999. My tank drove there on its own. So what I usually do is I line up the general area, but I'm actually moving on the map while I'm watching this. Oh, this is an Artie's wet dream. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We're going to hit some allies. The Americans and the UK were allied with the French during World War II. This is an Artie's wet dream. Come on, just fire the shot. Okay, so you see that I did an amazing 183 damage on the Chrysler K and 64 on the Carnarvon. And we're going to see a lot more high roll shots like that later in the game. And you can see this is very orgasmic for me. So we don't know what the outcome of that shot was. They might have become unspotted. You'll notice that all of my other above average players on my team have decided that the best strategy is not to defend on the east flank. I'm just a below average player. And if we lose this game, it's absolutely going to be probably my fault, because the game, whether we win the game or not is very much dependent on the SPG. You can see I was able to pull in a high roll of 25 damage on the Chrysler K. I'm up to 342 damage. From this position, you can see that I do adjust my position occasionally. There's a lot of targets that I can shoot at, which is usually a sign that the enemy has no fear and that perhaps your allies do. Like, I remember this T-34 but I don't remember him being there very long. We can get to that later. So you can see I kind of flubbed a shot on the E3. You know, again, I'm a noob. I did stun him, and my understanding is that he really was stunned really bad. You can see we got this EBR over here. Our team strategy to leave this open is definitely working. So I don't have the greatest position to line up on all these tanks over here. But let's see what happens. There's a bug in the game that what happens is it comes out of the sniper mode in the replay before it shows a shot firing. It's a game, a replay issue. It's not something that I'm doing. So we don't know what happened with that shot. I have to keep on moving west because of the vulnerability on the eastern flank. That's one of the things that you want to do. The score is only 1-6. That's not an indicator that my team's going to lose. The reason why we're losing is probably because of me, because I am a noob and I am a below average player. It's not because of the unicums on my team. I did have the idea, you know, I wanted to hit that T26E5 so bad, but he just has to move a little bit and I won't be able to hit him. So, and the Chrysler K, I seem to recall he's actually going to run away. Run away in victory, but not in fear. And you can see that I flubbed the shot. He just adjusted a little bit and it made me miss. I am a noob, I'm not good. Okay, so the score is 2-8. My failure in this game, which is indicated by my tomato win rate. See, I got some shots. I am going to hit some more tanks in this game. But it's going to be because of luck. So I did 238 damage, and I high rolled on the T26 E5 for 34 damage. I'm up to 614 damage. We're getting to the point where the positioning isn't really going to matter anymore. I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. We're going to lose this game. You know what? I know I got one more shot in me. Let's see if we can hit these stat patterns. Look at that. Look at what I got to go through. Okay, so let's move on to the next video.